Yeah, absolutely, John. Well, just getting the speed line continuation trade as an example here. So you saw John's great work there and the multiple types of entry opportunities as he went ahead and showed it to you. Well, now let's go ahead and take a step back here and go back over to the speed line continuation trade for a second. Does anybody see a speed line continuation trade on the 2-minute chart? Does anybody see a speed line continuation trade on the 15-minute chart after John's 60-minute trigger fired off there? Can anybody see those? The same technique that I just shared with you a few minutes ago. Let's go ahead and see if everybody can go ahead and see that. Yep, okay, excellent. So as we're going ahead and taking a look at this and now putting this into additional fine-tuning here. So you saw the great work. You saw how John put that together. Now we can go ahead and break it right back down to those 2 and those 5-minute, or in this case 5 and 15-minute charts, and go ahead and focus on additional entries. Just not only using the great work that John showed, but now secondary entry opportunities as we go into the process. So John's original work was going ahead and showing you the areas up above here that were very important, right? Well, now what about, like with everything that I like to do with John and mine's work, show those additional opportunities as you get into the trend. So here we have the initial push down. We get to pull back to the speed lines, and then we go ahead and roll down for another 5 points just on this 2-minute chart. So over the next 10 minutes, we dropped another 5 S&P points. Right here, we went in and we pulled back. We pulled back to around the 1659 here. Then we dropped down, over 5 S&P points. But there was your speed line continuation trade. The very same technique that I shared with you earlier. Can't make this stuff up, gang. There it is right in front of you. And so you can see just how important this was this afternoon into this afternoon's live trading environment. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that put some things together for you, showing the setup that I shared with you earlier, even though I only spent 30 minutes on one setup there, and then John spent roughly right around 30 minutes. Does that make sense, putting those two different methodologies together there?
Hey, Rob, I'd like to quickly just, I think I left a couple people hanging, and they said, hey, do you always use 60 minutes? No, but I definitely use 60 minutes in my analysis because of the higher, as I said earlier, a higher degree time frame will give you a little bit more change in direction. I watched the 60-minute, the 15, and the 5. If the 60-minute, and another thing we teach is the confluence amongst the markets. If the NASDAQ and the S&Ps, and you start to see a breakdown, and today we saw the NASDAQ break down finally, and it too generated a nice trigger to the short side. So the answer there is absolutely could you look at, but once you get that trigger, now you could turn to your shorter term time frame. Start looking, as Rob shows you with your 5-minute chart, and bang, the market just broke down. In fact, even at a nice low close, and for those who have Thinkorswim at 130, you had a PPS sell signal right at 1664 3/4, and then about obviously about less than 30 minutes later, that's when the hourly kicked in. So really good stuff there, folks.
Okay, great. So let's see. John, do you want to answer what the PPS is real quick?
Sure. Well, PPS, yeah, PPS is as you may have seen on the charts, I had on TradeStation, I had dots. On Trade Navigator, I had triangles. Those are, as I said earlier in the presentation, PPS stands for the Person's Pivot Study. It's a momentum indicator. It gives us definitive bullish and bearish setup signals. So when a change in direction or momentum of the market has occurred, if the market's been in an uptrend and you get a momentum shift to the downside, you'll get an orange triangle, or as we have with Thinkorswim, has my indicator, has that bullish and bearish momentum indicator already programmed into their platform. So if you go to my name, John Person, and you punch in Person's Pivots, you'll get my pivot filtered indicator, and if you punch in PPS, they're two separate indicators, and the PPS will generate for you those bullish and bearish momentum signals. So that's what PPS stands for, and we have that on various platforms. On eSignal now, we have it with Trade Navigator. Genesis is Trade Navigator, and TradeStation, as well as OEC. So we've been around for a little while.
Well, and John, I see people asking about TradeStation there, so now's probably a good time to go ahead and let them know how they can get them for TradeStation. So if you want to go ahead and flip it over here real quick, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How did everyone like what they saw so far today? Did we, I mean, you know, it's really cool because we didn't tailor today's presentation around today's market action. This was what we were talking about, folks, how to get into these entries. And I think Rob and I have been looking for this kind of action and to help people make money in the market. How do you get into the game with limited risk or defined risk? And that's the key. So Nora, thank you so much. Jeff, thank you all very much. Thomas P., thank you guys. So with that said, what are we going to do? How can we help you? Rob, here's what Rob and I are doing because a lot of people have asked for more than what we've given. So we're doing this together.
Okay, so great, gang. Well, so what we're looking at here, and the sales page just needs to be updated here with the times, but the what we have, if you go to www.becomebettertrader.com/SLC, so right here, www.becomebettertrader.com/SLC, what you'll see is the times here at the top. What we've got is a two-day mentorship course for you, and or a two-day mentorship course with 4 additional live trading sessions here. And so I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at this you know, very carefully, because it's really incredible what we have. Let me just see if I can refresh this here. There you go. So you have the times there for the 2 training days. It's September 5th and 6th from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. The live trading sessions are September 9th and 10th and 11th from 9 to noon, and then also from 1 to 4. And then on the 12th, it's from 9 to noon, because John and I have to go ahead and jump on an airplane to Germany, where we're going to speak to institutional clients. So the basically what I need to go ahead and do is just point out, look at this here, what we're going to be covering during this multi-part session. For the 2-day course, we've got my 5 favorite setups, and this is very important because if I had to start all over again as a small lot trader, these are the exact tools that I would go ahead and use. Okay, I would go ahead and use these strategies, and I'm going to be covering those that are specifically designed to turn a small lot account into a bigger lot account. So I'm going to go ahead and go through those 5 key setups that I would go ahead and use. John's going to go through 6 powerful price patterns and follow through triggers to get into the trade. How to finally trade with the professionals, not against them. Let's be honest, gang, there's a lot of small lot traders, more junior traders, a lot of us do that. The 5 things that every trader must avoid to avoid consistently losing money. The 10 best futures and options, because this is a futures and options small lot trading course, to trade with, and which ones are going to eat you alive as a small lot trader. It's amazing some of the things that small lot traders tell me they trade. We're going to share with you our top 10 best futures and options trades. The new and small lot trader psychology will be discussed every step of the way. I already talked to you guys about this earlier. You guys went ahead and made this comment as well, that even 5 ticks against you can cause you anxiety, or 10 ticks against you could be a full stop out. So the psychology involved with the small lot account is so much different than a large lot account, and so we need to discuss that every step of the way, and that ties in with up here, trading with the professionals, not against them.
Hey Rob, if
yes.
I may add, we had a question from someone that says, how much would a small lot account hold? And here's the thing, folks. I mean, that's a good question. I think, when people trade futures, there's a lot of brokerage firms out there that offer you like $700 day trade margin. So they open up like a $5,000 or $7,000 account, and they go, gee, I could $750. I'm going to do a 10 lot. I can do it, right? And I think it's not as much of the amount that you open your account with. If you're day trading, yes, you have reduction in margin. I think that's part of the small lot traders course, is to teach you how to use leverage appropriately based on the risk, not the trade, number one. Number two, another question, Rob, we had someone that said, when you had mentioned about options, and for stock traders, futures is one thing, but there's 10 different ways to skin a cat. And I think for small lot traders who don't want the leverage of the futures, that are trading stocks, there's inverse ETFs. And if we're getting in a bearish formation in the equity markets, you get a higher degree time frames. There's no reason why we can't share with you why and how you should be looking at some of these ETFs like SDS, or I think these inverse related ETFs will be really instrumental, especially both when the market, overall market has correction. So for small lot traders, it's not just about futures, it's about how do you apply the right amount of capital per trade. And that's the power of this particular course, is that how do you define how many contracts should you be in? That's the key. And I hope that answered a couple of questions that were out there outstanding. How much should you start with? It all depends on what the risk factor is per your initial account, number one. Number two, it's not just exclusive for futures traders, it's also for stock traders, and how we can utilize our trade setups and Rob's and myself's work. Rob, back to you.
And so what we're doing here as well, in addition to those key things that are really important here, what we want to go ahead and do is focus on the intra and inter-market analysis to confirm the trades. We want to go ahead and focus on the end-of-day analysis to help set up our day trades. We want to talk about how to trade small, even if you can't sit and watch in front of your computer. This is one I get a lot for small lot traders. How can I trade, but I can't sit in front of the computer? This is people, sometimes they have second careers. They're retired, semi-retired. They trade small. They can't sit and watch this small position. We talked about some of you, the 5 or 10 tick pullbacks go ahead and cause angst. So we're going to specifically be talking about that during the event. How can you trade a small lot account but not sit in front of the computer and watch it? We got some fantastic information on that. And I don't know, John, if you had mentioned earlier, but we spent a couple months now putting this course together. It's actually one of the capstone classes now. We did the day trading, the swing trading, the day trading class. In fact, the day trading class where we did live trading at the end of it, we have really great information, some great testimonials about how that worked for people. This is actually much more advanced, because that was a one-day type live trading environment. This is going to have 4 days to it. So,
do you mind if I ask a quick question? How many people had taken our past courses that have actually benefited from it and have seen improvement in their trading? I think that's the key, is to really say, is what Rob and I are doing, is it translating into your performance increasing? So, if you improve your knowledge, you improve your confidence. This is awesome. Look at these responses. This is excellent.
Yeah. And so then I got a question here from Donna. I've seen other courses where small lot trading turns into 20 contracts. What is your definition of small lot trading? What is the maximum number of contracts you intend to trade in the live trading portion? Well, let me get to that, gang, but actually I do have that right up here. I've heard that. I've seen it. I've heard all the feedback about that, about people that say it's going to be a small lot course, and ends up being those big lots like you were saying, Donna. But this is going to be 1 to 3 lots to prove out our methodology live in real time. We're only going to trade 1 to 3 contract trades. Why even 2 or 3 contract trades? Because we want to show people with small lot accounts, when is it time to go more size from our perspective? When is it time to go ahead and stay to 1 contract? So we're going to go ahead and allow ourselves up to 3 contracts to go ahead and trade. Plus it allows us to go ahead and scale out of positions and things like that. As we're taking our profits. So we're going to, be 1 to 3 contracts max for each trade we do, futures or options. Okay, so going back to this here, we're also going to be going and talk about how to calculate the right lot size according to our risk plans. All trades are not created equally. We have to go ahead and be able to define which ones. So we're going to go over the formula for that. We're both going to be showing small lot trading techniques that we've never shared outside of our private mentorship. So I'm really excited about that. We just normally, those are things that we stay to our mentorship, our mentorships. We are going to be sharing some of those techniques. This is like a mini mentorship is what this is. We're going to be going ahead and teaching specific small lot strategies for Asian and European session traders with either second careers or living outside the U.S. It's obviously very different trading the Asian and the European session than it is trading the U.S. session. And so there's certain intricacies you need to know, and as a small lot trader, that becomes even more important. And for those of you that wonder, well, Rob, how are you qualified to trade the European session? You live in the United States. Gang, the international trading competition I won over in Paris, France last year, the first several meles of that were actually during the European session. So I became the first American to ever win that. I traded those against other traders who, most of these traders were from Europe in that region, and I beat these traders. I'm quite qualified to go ahead and trade the European session. And also I placed second in the international Forex competition back this last May in the Forex competition, and that was mostly again during the European session. So I've got a lot of experience in going and trading European sessions there, and I have a lot of my own traders that go ahead and actually have to leave me early in the morning. Everybody from my East Coasters, they have to leave early to the California crew. So I'm quite familiar with helping people in understanding those technologies or those time frames. And so the other neat thing is you also get the recording each day. Now that side over there is basically the 2-day course. That's what the 2-day event is going to cover. That's from 9 to noon and then from 1 to 4 each of those 2 days. Now then we go ahead and come over here to the 4 live sessions over here. That's going to go ahead and be forgetting about the small lot, theory and concepts of the strategies. Let's start doing it live. And so we're going to have 4 daytime sessions of the live futures and options. The first 3 days are going to be full days. The last day is going to be a half day because we have to jump on a plane to Germany where John and I are going to speak to institutional customers. Institutional customers and clients, gang, want to know the same things that we're teaching you. Make no mistake about it. Okay, and so we're on our way to Germany to go ahead and teach those a client group over there. And so, all the trades, except they're paying us a lot more money generally than you guys are, but that's okay. All trades by myself and John will be live and kept to the 1 to 3 contracts that we talked about to prove the methodology in real time. The trades will be taken right there live on the screen. So you're going to get to see our best intraday scanning techniques live. The classroom size has been limited so that we can spend time answering all of the individual critical questions that you have. You're going to watch us calculate our risk reward and P&L opportunities in real time. That's where the difference between 1 contract and 3 contracts will come in. When to push, when to quote unquote go all in. Okay. The most important thing of all, is how to handle the winners, but how to handle the losers in real time. That's one thing. When you're a one-lot trader, people struggle. What do I do? How do I handle it? I can't add into a position. I can't scale out of a position if it's one lot. What do I do with it? That's going to be an important piece. And again, that's going to be all available the same day of the course. Now, the thing is, what we did is we broke this into 2 different sections here, gang. So there's the 2-day course, and then there's the 2-day course plus the 4 days. Now, the 2-day course plus the 4 days comes with my starter package of indicators. It comes with 3 months access to John's professional package of indicators. It also comes with a 3-month mini mentorship. What we're doing is, for all of you that came to our events the last couple of times, we basically had a 1-day follow-up. Well, what we're doing here, and that one day was invaluable for you guys. What we've done here is basically made this a mini mentorship where this is going to include 3 months of a specific day each of those 3 months. So it's going to be one day a month for 3 months where John and I are going to be going ahead and coming back to you and working with you and helping you in this small group. That's why we've limited this particular part. So this is really only for the first 50 people, okay? Because this is a big deal. In the past, we had hundreds of people at the day trading, hundreds of people at the swing, and hundreds of people at the options. And this particular time, this is a very serious, this basically becomes a mini mentorship for these first 50 people.
Not only that, Rob, but I think everyone, this right here with the event that we're hosting and conducting and showing you, and I think it was a great question that people had asked, and it wasn't just one person, it was someone else said, we attended small lot courses and that we've seen people do 20 lots. If you say, hey, I made $3,000 today and you could do that every day, it gives a false sense of impression on what real trading is about. And that's why we wanted to limit this to what the average individual, according to major brokerage firms, trade in the market, a small lot beginner trader between 1 to 3 lots. And I think that's an adequate place to start so that you could see, how do you get into the trade? How do you, if you miss it, how do you scale in? How do you scale out? That's what this is designed for. But more importantly, we're going to do this one-on-one mentoring, and it's a follow-up. So it's not just, hey, we just did the course, see ya, bye-bye. It's, hey, let's get back together and review what did we teach, what happened in the market, how are the trades setting up, and we do that not 1 month, but for 3 months. That one-on-one mentoring is really cool, neat teaching feature, and that's what we're doing with this course to really help bolster your careers. So Rob, I just didn't want people to think that this was like a, we're going to get back like we did one session, which was nice. People asked for it. They wanted to come back. They wanted to see it. We did. We traded. You guys saw that, and you know what? I think it's a really neat feature that for some of you that may not, have the time to study, or something happened in your life, at least you got a chance to come back, not once, not twice, 3 times, the rest of this year. So for almost the rest of the year, Rob, we're going to be still hands-on teaching and trading with people.
That's right, John. And so what we did, this is, like I said, we spent now months working on this. While we were getting together on the other courses, we always went ahead and had this one in mind. We were working on this. The problem with this is, gang, that we went ahead, and this took a lot of time to put together because let's be honest. I mean, for those of you that know me, for those of you that know John, we're not small lot traders. We had to go back to our roots. What did it take to go from 1 lot, 2 lot, 3 lot trading to trading hundreds of contracts? Does that make sense? So, this was a real process and a journey in working with our small lot our small lot groups to go ahead and survey what's important to them, what they need to make sure that we get that formula right and that it's really beneficial. And even in the day trading course where we had 1 day of follow-up, you could see some great, messages from, CMH and Bruce P here, how they went ahead and took this and were able to go ahead and use this information to better themselves with just the day trading course, which was 1 day of class, 1 day of live trading, and that was not geared specifically to small lot traders. This is specifically geared to small lot traders, and so what we did was we put all of this together, all these different things, plus it comes with my starter package of indicators, which will help you do the majority of the small lot trading courses or setups and strategies, my 5 key setups. Also, it's going to include 3 months of access to John's PPS momentum indicator and pivots if you have eSignal, TradeStation, or Trade Navigator. Okay. eSignal, TradeStation, or Trade Navigator. If you have one of those 3, you can get John's professional package of indicators. But it's also for the first 50 people. We'll go ahead and also give the mini mentorship for the 3 follow-up months. And for those of you that had even the 1-day follow-ups from some of the other classes, you know how important those were. And we had hundreds of people in those, and we tried feverishly to answer everybody's questions. Now imagine taking it, limiting the group size, and doing it over the course of 3 months with us. that's going to be really powerful as you go ahead and take our work and apply it, and then you have your different examples of what worked, what didn't for you, and how we got to tweak you and say, well, did you forget about this? Did you think about that? All that, where does the follow-up come for most people? So this is really a mini mentorship for people. That's why I'm so excited. I'm really proud of this. We put a lot of time and effort into it. Yeah, Chris, you go to www.becomeabettertrader.com/SLC. Gang, this is a way, if you're going to be a small lot trader, you want to learn it live. You want to know these different techniques. Again, I'm telling you, if I had to go back all over again and start all over, if I had to give all my money to charity, if something happened to my son or my wife and I had to give up all my money for medical bills and I had to start all over and trade from the beginning, this is how I would go ahead and do it. I would go ahead and focus on these 5 setups, and that's what I'm going to be sharing during this event. And then all the other things, you can read everything that's going to be covered. You can take it like a checklist and check it on down as we go ahead and we go through the event, because we're going to be covering so much information there. And then we're going to do it live for 3.5 days, basically. So it's 4 sessions there, 3.5 days. Mornings, afternoons, and so that's going to be great whether you're a morning trader or an afternoon trader, whether you're morning right now but you give all your money back in the afternoon, you want to see how we do it in the afternoons. You're going to get to see it live and real money, 1 to 3 contracts only. That's an incredible opportunity. You're just not going to get anywhere else, because I understand. I've seen other people, they have small lot courses. I get that. I know it's a popular topic. The problem is people are limiting it, and we're doing ours for futures and options. We're also going ahead and providing the 3 months of mentorship, and we're also giving some indicators that you can have to go ahead and use these different techniques to prepare you and get you well underway and really get you acclimated to this environment. Question from Carol: what platforms are the indicators available for? You know what, Carol, once again, that's right over here for the starter package of my indicators. I got plugins available for all these. I also have manual settings available for other platforms. For John's indicators, it's available for eSignal, TradeStation, or Trade Navigator.
Well, we also have NinjaTrader, Rob, and OEC. So if you guys have OEC, if you have
OEC NinjaTrader?
Yep, OEC, NinjaTrader, so we will allow that as well. Yeah, and what I think another question I saw scroll, what platforms will be trading, because people want to learn how do you actually, because every different platform has a little different nuance between the dome. Some are right click, left click, and so what we'll be using is TradeStation, Thinkorswim. At least for me, I'll be using TradeStation, Thinkorswim, and OEC, those 3 platforms to help share trade setups and order execution. So just so everyone knows, those are the platforms that I'll be using so that you can actually get a handle on how to do that.
Yeah, and Ted asked, can we get recordings of the follow-ups? Yes, those will all be recorded. We realize that not all 50 people are going to be able to go ahead and attend all 3 events. We get that, between October, November, December, because we're doing the class in September, at the beginning of September. So October, November, December, somebody may end up going ahead and having to miss a session. If they do, they can submit their questions in advance, and then we answer it, and you'll have the recording. Absolutely. Okay, so this is very important. It's a fantastic opportunity, a fantastic offer, and it's a way to not only.
No, it's an incredible offer. This is something that, I mean, you said, Rob, if you were going to start all over, could you do this is what you'd want. I guarantee you, this is stuff a lot of traders want. Now, I don't know if it's because of they don't have the time, if it's ego, if it's they just don't, but this is probably some of the best trading education hands down out there. And when Rob just said that we're going to be teaching, we're going to be showing people this exactly in Germany and some of the techniques that we're teaching. And I just did a mentoring class here in my Florida office for a few people back in June, and some of the techniques I'll be sharing there in which is exclusive for my one-on-one private mentoring. So this is going to be a very, I think with the follow-up of the 3 months, I think we've created an outstanding course for people that want to take it to the next level. They didn't quite get it, they struggled with it, they're a little rusty on it. This actually forces you to get into the disciplined approach of the market to do the job the right way. So I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait to see how we help you change the way you are as a trader, and we want to have that positive influence on your life, and that's what's really cool, to have people say, hey man, this was really neat stuff, thank you so much, John. That is what makes it worthwhile, and I've gotten a lot of that. We already had a couple people make really kind posts, and you know what, we really look forward to having you guys and being a part of seeing how your trading career can change.
Kelly, I went ahead and I posted the link for you there just a moment ago, so you should be able to see it in there. It's becomeabettertrader.com/SLC for small lot course there, and then of course you can call the office and talk directly to ladies. They'll help you if for some reason you don't want to sign up over the internet. And if you do have TradeStation, this qualifies for the TradeStation rebate program, so you save 20% on your commissions until you go ahead and pay for this course as well if you have a TradeStation account. So pretty cool stuff there. The videos will be sent each evening. The videos will go ahead and be put up on the website for you to go ahead and get each evening there. So basically the online recordings will be each day, so you're not going to go ahead and miss anything. You're going to go ahead and get immediate access to it that evening. Just takes a couple hours for them to render and get up on the website, but we'll put them up each evening, if you have to miss a particular session, because there's a lot of intensive learning over not just the 2 days, but really the real proof of the pudding is doing it live in front of people. That's where the real learning comes. Anybody can teach out of a textbook, but let's do it live for 3.5 days. That's the incredible value. And like I said, we did it for a fraction of that before, and you can see we had some great feedback from people that were going and putting that to use even on the day trading side. And this is focused on the small lot trader side. But the real thing I'm excited about is for at least the first 50 people there, and look, if you can't sign up for whatever reason, you can't join us today, that's fine. You know what? And if you missed this part, well, you know what? The whole thing is still an incredible value. So just forget that. Just take it all off. Even if you can't come to the 3 months of follow-up, just going and getting access to John's indicators for the 3 months, getting mine permanently there for the starter package, going ahead and watching us trade live and having access to the archives indefinitely for the 3.5 days of live trading, and all this that you're going to learn over these. Like I said, this right here, I can't tell you how invaluable that is. If I had to start all over again and do it with just these 5, right there, that's worth coming to the course. Forget the rest of it. Forget the follow-up. Forget the 3 months of follow-up. That right there is worth it, from a real trader who trades live in front of people each and every day, goes out, wins domestic and international trading championships, forgetting everything else. But then you go ahead and add all of John's fantastic work, all the things he's giving you access to his full-blown professional package of indicators for 3 months. I mean, and all of the great things that are going to go ahead and come out of a 3.5-day event with John and I, on the live trading side. That's really awesome. But like I said, if you can only come to the 2-day class, that's all you want to do, you can do that, gang, for just $497. You can do that right over here. If you just want to come to the 2 days, you don't want to watch me trade live, you don't want to watch John trade live, you're welcome to go ahead. You don't want to come to the 3 months of follow-up mentorships, for the first 50 people, that's fine. You can do this class for $497. We get that. For some people, that may make sense. Maybe they're going to be out of the country after September, and they're not going to get enough value out of it, whatever the case may be. They're not going to be able to come to the other ones. Maybe they just have their own trading style. They just want to implement our strategies, but they don't want to actually see it live. Whatever it may be, that's fine. But so we have that opportunity for you to come just to the class itself. And like I said, that's going to be an incredible class all by itself. But then, I'm very biased because I know my trading, I know how I trade, and I know people don't normally get to watch me trade as a small lot trader. in true terms. Even in the live trading room, I tend to go ahead and trade as more of a large lot trader, not necessarily focus specifically on small lot unless I'm going to doing a specific small lot class of sorts in the live trading room. But then, like I said, even here, John and I both agreed to go ahead and give at least a couple of the tools and techniques that we share with just our mentoring students, and so we're going to go ahead and be doing that. I had a mentorship here just in June, just several weeks ago, and I'm going to teach some of the same things that we went ahead and taught during that. So it's a really powerful class. Very excited about that. Let's see, question from Nate, can I purchase the live trading portion without the strategy course? No. No, that wouldn't make a lot of sense, because what you're going to do is you're going to come in there and you're going to ask me a whole bunch of questions. Yeah, well, thanks, George. Good. We're looking forward to having you. As far as that just isn't going to make sense. If you go ahead and you don't get this, if you don't understand what my 5 favorite setups are as a small lot trader, John's 6 powerful patterns, you don't go through the training here. You just come for the live trading. It makes no sense because you're going to sit there, then the entire time you're going to be like, well, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why are you taking that trade? And I'm going to be like, well, that was in the 2-day course. That'd be extremely unfair to everybody else, not to mention the mentorship. Then you're going to go ahead and basically be doing it, kind of backwards. You're not even going to know what to answer in the mentorship portion if you haven't gone ahead and learned the actual techniques. Does that make sense, everybody? So if you don't learn all the quality information over here on the front end, the mentorship won't make a lot of sense on the back
Yeah,
end. You're not
no,
going
no,
to have anything
absolutely,
to
Rob.
ask.
I think that absolutely makes sense. You have to come. You can't just come for the mentoring. That's a separate situation there. But I think another really good question was, will we have the mentoring sessions recorded? And the answer is yes. And we have a phenomenal team here between Rob's wife Sarah, my wife Mary, Super Sarah, marvelous Mary, and terrific Tanya in the back over there with Rob. And we've put out a lot of these presentations and courses we've done. The recordings are up, the links are there, the customer service. There's a lot of support here. So to help everybody be on track to watch those and to review those, they will be available. And just like we've done all our other courses, they're there for you to continue to review. So they will be up and posted just like we did on our other courses.
Tish, this is separate from the live trading room. This is basically, this is not a 3-month membership to the live trading room. So I'm sorry if there's any confusion. This is a 2-day class on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you go ahead and you can get access to the 4 days of live trading. So it's a 6-session event there. But there is the 3-month of follow-up. So once a month for 3 months, we're going to be getting together with the first 50 people that join this event, and we will be following up with them. And so that will go ahead and be once a month for 3 months to go ahead and work with those 50 people to go ahead and tweak, rewire them, update them on things, and basically help little fine modifications from the original course that they're, little things that they're missing, little things that they didn't perfect. So that's the real value in this. There's a 3-month continuation, kind of continuity program, if you will, versus you go through one of these courses like most of these people offer, and then you're on your own. You're kind of like out there in the wind. We're going ahead and offering the 3 months of continuity. It's one of the biggest things that people really love, the follow-up class, and so we wanted to go ahead and do it in triplicate to really go above and beyond. Okay, and let's see. Is the webinar course you're doing right now being recorded? Yes, it is, Daniel. As long as that turns out okay, you'll have access to it. For our regular course here, we're going to go ahead and for this course, we usually record on 5 or 6 different machines in different locations. That way, we've never failed to deliver on one of our paid courses there. So if we did, we'd do it all over again, just to go ahead and follow through with the commitment to make sure that it's recorded for everybody. Okay. let's see, Alan, is the intensive small lot strategy course recorded? Yes, all of these are recorded. They're all going to be delivered the night of the event. So so right here, you'll get the online recording each day as the course happens, so you will miss nothing. So what will happen is, just to put this in plain terms, because that you can't be without that course. You have to have the recordings. I'm going to hit you with so much information that it's just not even funny. So as you look at this here, the September 5th and 6th, which I believe is a Thursday and a Friday, you're going to come in Thursday and Friday. You're going to be there for those 2 days. Then you're going to come back for the live trading the following week. Does that make sense? So it's a 6-day event, gang. You're going Thursday and Friday. You're learning. Then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday the following week, it's live trading, following all the kind of rules and regulations that we set out here. 1 to 3 lots only, futures and options contracts only, and going ahead and what we're going to be teaching, what we're going to be doing. Yeah, it's an incredible offer. Absolutely. Hey, Eugenio and Mark, welcome. Thank you. Norm, Ted, Christian, thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Welcome. And so, hey, Isidore, you'd have to talk with John about that, Isidore. Good talking to you as always. Will the follow-up sessions be recorded, Steve? Yes, the follow-up sessions will be recorded as well. Like I said, gang, if you go to www.becomeabettertrader.com/SLC, this is one of the best courses we've ever put together in the history of my company, and I'm sure John, because we put months of effort in tag teaming this. John's years of experience, he's a few years my senior, just a few. He's written multiple books. This man has an incredible wealth of wisdom. If you just go ahead and actually sit down and talk with him for any length of time, it's amazing. And then, of course, with myself, we all know I've gone ahead and made a lot of accomplishments in this business, and there's an opportunity to learn. And like I said, I think this part here, I'm really excited about it because I really haven't done this before. Outside of private mentoring, share any of my stuff that outside private mentoring of such a sensitive nature. So it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big event. And John also agreed to share a couple things he only shares with mentor students as well. So it's a pretty big thing. It's not a full mentorship program. That's obviously when you come to my house for 5 long days, intensively there. That's a whole different thing. But this is like a mini mentorship. Okay. And did you like that, Rosemary? I thought it was funny too. Let's see. You know what? Yeah, Gail says I will go there and hope it is larger on the screen. I mean, Gail, I can blow it up here a little bit on this screen here. You can blow it up. You can make it bigger to go ahead and see it a little bit better there, if that helps, gang. Yeah, Ross, I think you should. That's my humble opinion. I mean, we went ahead and we put a lot of time and effort. It took us months to put this together. We could have had this out. There was other people doing small lot courses over the last couple of months, and we said we're not going to go ahead and put it out early. We'll let other people go ahead and do their courses, and the risk we took was that people would buy, lesser developed programs than ours. But would you rather have the best, or would you rather have the quickest, gang? John and I move really slow. And we do that intentionally because there's so much to share. And this is of all the courses we've put together, I'm absolutely convinced this is the best course. And part of that's because of some of the things that we're going to be sharing that we just don't share elsewhere.
Not only that, Rob, but I think one of the things in putting this together, folks, what we considered was the timing, the market structure, the market condition. There's a lot of things that are developing in the markets right now. We've got a lot of things. When we get in September, we got foreign elections coming up. We got a lot of things happening in the market that I think people are going to want to have the right structure and coaching and mentoring. And that's why we said, listen, we could teach a course, or we can go on and have people watch the videos. But what's different between this, the small lot traders course, and the day trading course? First off, the day trading course, it was 1 day of teaching, and it was 1 day of trading, and it was a bad day of trading at that. We did come out with an option strategy, and then Rob had a small win on the crude oil because that's all the market gave. What's different between that and this? Well, a lot, because A, this is 2 days of intensive trading and training, and then it's 2 days of intensive trading. So we have 4 days, and then it's backed by 3 months of mentoring, plus all the bonuses. Someone asked about my indicators. Well, I think I've said it before, but if you have Thinkorswim, the indicators are free because of TD Ameritrade. So the PPS and the person's pivots are free. We'll walk through how to use them effectively. Next, with the indicators, why are they not free with all the other packages? Because every other package that we have, it has, like for Trade Navigator, it's not just indicators, it also has a scanning feature. You can scan for buy and sell signals, and that's something I think everyone will get a good education on how to utilize. And so the next thing is, how do you, once you get a trade signal, how do you get in? How do you trade it? That's the difference between, you know, being successful in the market, and that's what Rob has, a lot of beautiful entry techniques, as well as myself. We've got those methods. When do you place stops? When do you place market orders? When do you place limit orders? That's what's important. Where does your stop go? These are the common elements of trading. Other than that, I guess people could flip a coin, but we're not coin flippers here. We trade a methodology, and I think many of you have seen us enough to know that we're pretty serious, both from our research, our indicators, and the work that we've put together. So this package, as Rob said, we've really worked hard together to create an educational content, you know, that would appeal to what the clients have been asking for, that they want. Hey, I want you guys to show me how to do it. I need a little bit more hand-holding, and, you know, follow up with me. And that's what we put this all together for, folks. So this is really a really instrumental, I think, a turning point in the educational trading field, especially as we get towards the end of this year. Sleeves rolling up, the summer's over. We come back from Labor Day, you've got, you know, quite an interesting times ahead. So I think it's going to be worth your while to attend to see what's going on and how we help you to navigate these markets, especially as we get through not just the day trading portion of it, but also the mentoring portion of it. Right, Rob?
Yeah, and Jonathan asked, he said, you use different indicators than John. Can we use both, or do we have to choose one or the other? Actually, all the other courses, Jonathan, and when John and I are traveling all over the country with TradeStation. We were just in LA a few weeks ago, Boston and various places. And what you have to understand is that actually our work complements each other quite well. We prove that, you know, kind of traveling throughout the country. So it's one of the reasons why we work so closely together, in addition to getting along so well on a personal level. Jeff says, just signed up for the full deal, looking forward to getting the knowledge to become a better trader. Well, Jeff, thank you. I'm glad to go ahead and have you there. And also Robin, Craig, and Wayne, thank you as well. Actually, so based on all those people that have joined, just a little FYI, I better caveat this real quick. Hold on one second. I just want to remind you, we are, you know, for the private mentorship portion, that's only available to the first 50 people. So just FYI, the private mentorship, the follow-up portion, you know, for the once a month for the 3 months, we have to limit that to 50 people. It's a great value, gang, even if you can't get into that follow-up. But we have to limit that because these other sessions where we had hundreds of people end up, you know, going ahead and you know, teaching us that we really want to limit the private mentorship, mini mentorship, if you will, for the 3 months to 50 people. Okay, this portion, you know, as many of you want to join as possible. You know, you know, that's fine. We should be okay here with this portion here for the live trading online. But the mini mentorship portion, we have to go ahead and kind of limit. Okay. So, but you know, like I said, the indicators and the tools and the techniques are going to be very complementary. In fact, just a few minutes ago, let me just pull this down. If you remember, John showed you how his strategy went ahead and was starting to focus on entries up in this area up here, and then I showed you here how you get the secondary entries down below with the speed line continuation trade. that's just one little example right there in kind of the live environment of those two things working together. Does that make sense? So the and let's see, Cheryl, I only join if I'm one of I can I. Are you asking if you want to join if you can be one of the 50? Is that what you're asking? That's fine. Talk to the girls in the office there. Just call them and ask if you're still eligible for it. So right here, just go ahead. Maybe for there, instead of just signing up directly, then if you're worried about that. But to my knowledge, I think that it's been less than 20 people that have signed up so far. To my knowledge, they're posting some of the names in as they're coming in. So that was kind of giving me a gauge. So I think you're still fine at this time. Usually what happens is people will stay with me to the end, right? How many of you have bought something from me in the past? You'll stay with me to the end. You'll listen to every word I say, because sometimes, throw out a wild card there at you. And then you go ahead and you join in after we're done. So really the flood of people really is after I shut up. So I'm just being honest. You know me, I'm always a straight shooter, win, lose, or draw. I'm always very straightforward about things because you need to be able to, have that relationship with, an education and a mentor. So that's really kind of how it works. So it's actually better to join while I'm talking versus after we're done, because that's when everybody's going to make the mad dash. And then there's going to be a secondary wave of people once we send out the recording that will go ahead and join. And that is how it is. So so anyways, in the end, the bottom line is, to Cheryl, to you and everybody else, it's an incredible course. I'm very proud of what we've put together here, especially since some of the stuff's never been shared publicly before outside of mentorships, and that's not public, that's private. So, and then also, like I said, people always ask me, well, what would you do? What would you do if you had
Rob,
a small lot account?
I was going to say, when you make mention about, like, you and I don't share a lot of stuff out in the public, I mean, I don't think anyone's seen the snapback approach, a stop-in approach that we were talking about today with the low close doji. No one's ever seen that before at a public event. I've talked about the low close doji and said, hey, here it is, and I think it goes over, I don't put a lot of importance on it and hit people over the head with a baseball bat for my stuff. And I know that what you were sharing today, you normally don't come out on free webinars and share that with information in fine detail. So even today was just a small little sampling of what we can share with you. I think it's going to be just very powerful. And what the key is this stuff actually happened today. So it's not, that's what this is all about. I mean, it's happening, what we could do, what's working right now, what's been working, and these are the things. So folks, we really, we want to say thank you for trusting your education in us. And again, Rob and I have worked very hard at putting this together, as he's already stated. And, Cheryl, I wanted to say, I think it's very important that for those that are joining today to understand that I think the mentoring aspect of this for 3 months, I mean, that is going to be key. So it's like we get to kind of be with you and track your progress and make you accountable for what you've learned. And I think, Rob, that's what we had that conversation. Rob, we had that conversation the other day. We said we got to make people accountable for what they're learning with us. We could teach the greatest thing in the world, but if people don't believe it or practice it or use it, we got to make them accountable. And that's what the mentoring aspect was all about, is to not just give you a little bit of hand-holding, but also to make you accountable. Hey, did you use this? Did it work? Did you not try it? If not, why not? And move forward. And that's the key of the mentoring aspect of this program. And that's why this really makes a lot of difference between anything else that Rob and I have done before. So just thought I'd just remind everybody.
And John, Gail just asked a question there. Does the full course include the strategy course? What is the total? Yes. And Gail, right here, just to make sure you can double check me here. So it's the intensive small lot course plus the 4-day, 4 live training session event there with the two of us, and the incredible bonuses, including the mini mentorship. Of course, that should have a little asterisk there mini mentorship portion should have a little asterisk and say for the first 50 people. And also, just for these people here that wrote these really nice things after we did our day trading course, which, like I said, was a really comparatively speaking to the small lot course, which is two days of things that we've never shared before in many cases, and the 4 days of trading versus 1 day of trading and 1 day of teaching. You see some really nice comments by Sam here. Both Sam and Bruce are also in my live trading room. In the interest of full disclosure, not that that should matter, but they went ahead and basically good trade on the Japanese yen. He did 35 ticks on one contract, and Bruce was watching the videos, and the 2-day class is paying off with the gold this morning. It helped so much I just made one K on one contract on gold. Now again, past performance, not indicative of future results. Everybody has their unique experiences, but the reality is that these are two people that attended our class and loved John and my work and what we did, and it really benefited them. So I am hoping that we're with this, which is much more intensive. And like I said, I keep going back to this, and I feel like a broken record, but I feel like I have to, because people always ask me, if you had to start all over again, what would you do? And I'm going to share that. And what are those 5 setups that I will use? And then you're going to go ahead and see me trade some of those very same things during this event. So it's huge. It's a huge opportunity for somebody to finally see a real trader who's going to go ahead and trade live, and you're going to see John right there along with me, who's also a real trader who's going to trade live. We're going to do futures and options, and you're going to go ahead and see real-world trading, real-world strategies, and really real-world techniques, not this fluffy stuff, not a small lot course that, like you guys said, all of a sudden turns into 20-lot trades and stuff like that. Every trade will be kept within 1 to 3 contracts. So it's as real-world as it gets, and as appropriate and applicable to 95% of you here as can possibly be. And then, like I said, it also, I don't want to shortchange the other bonuses, because it would be unfair. For OEC, Ninja Trader, Trade Navigator, EC, Trade Station, you have 3 months of John's indicators. You're going to get to keep my starter package of indicators indefinitely. Okay, and that's available for all these different platforms as a plug-in, and then also we can give you the manual settings if you have some like tertiary type platform. Okay. And then, like I said, the 3 months, the once a month for 3 months, that ongoing help. If you guys are struggling, if you guys are like, Rob, I got this 70% of things, but I just can't get this other 30%. Help me out during it. Rob, John, I got 90% of this, but this last 10% about what you were saying about this, that, or the other is throwing me off. Because, like I said, even those of you that outside of our private mentorships, there's going to be a lot of new information there. So that's kind of a big deal. But let me see. Well, great, Gail. I'll be looking forward to having you. And thanks, Ian. Is that Ian from England? Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Ian. Great to go ahead and have you as part of this as well. Let's see, I just signed up, a note from Craig. I just signed up, and I'm excited to learn from you and John. I feel like I'm almost there, and think that you and John have what it takes to put it together to help me be more consistent in my trading. Thanks for making this offer. Listen, that's a good point. A lot of people talk about how they almost feel like they're there. Gang, if you feel like you're almost there, I don't see how this can't be a huge push over that mountain there. If you've been trading for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you're struggling there and you're needing that push, I just don't see how this can't go ahead and help with that, because, like I said, you got 2 days of some of our best work, and then you go ahead and you get 4 trading sessions with us to go ahead and help drive that methodology home and build your confidence levels, and take the best parts of our work as you see fit in your risk trading plan, and what you and your registered financial representative will allow, and what your trading plan will allow for, fit the best of our work into that mix. I mean, I just can't see that. Well, Cheryl, then, hey, you bet, Dan. And Dan, you and I still got to catch up here this evening. I want to give you that contact for that broker. So, um, uh, shoot me an email. Just remind me, and I'll go ahead and I'll give you a call here once we're all done with this to give you all the broker information. Okay? And thanks, Robert and Ed. Welcome to this big event for our student family here. So I'm gonna shrink this down, one more time and just kind of go through it there. Bottom line is you're going to go ahead and get 6 days with us, 6 days. You're going to go ahead and get 2 of the days of the actual deep dive of the strategy concepts. You're going to go ahead and get 4 days of the live trading environment with us. The hours are all posted there for you. And like I said, the last day, John and I we would do a full day gladly, but we can't because we got to leave on a plane to go see some institutional clients over in Germany. And so I'll be broadcasting from Germany later in the week, and then also teaching people outside of the trading hours. So but then it's going to include, if you just get the course itself, it's only $497, and then it comes with all of these things here. So it's still a great value. Okay, but for $997, you not only get the 2-day course, you get 4 days of the live trading. You go and get my starter package of indicators, John's professional package of indicators for any of these platforms right here, and also for the first 50 people, however many spots of that are left, the first 50 people will also get the 3 months of follow-up. Okay, so and that's all. So both the first part, the strategy course, and the follow-up for only $997. So it's the best course we put together. It took us months. I know, gang, some of you have been buying small lot trading courses from other people the last couple months. Gang, you know us. We're real-world traders. We've got pedigrees, and we wanted to do it right. John and I don't throw stuff together, make stuff up, pull it out of our buns, and go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and let's do this. This is the flavor of the week. We've been working on this course diligently for months, and behind the scenes around the other courses, because it's much more advanced, as many of you know. Trading a small lot account is very difficult psychologically. Forget the financial piece. It's difficult psychologically. And so it's a whole different element than normal trading, like the normal trading I do in the live trading room, the normal trading I go ahead and do in normal teaching classes, like a normal day trading or swing trading course. Small lot trading has a whole realm of intricacies dedicated to it. So we wanted to take the time. So for all of you that saw all the other small lot courses the last couple of months, you'll probably notice the difference in this one as is anyways, because this also includes follow-up tools and indicators and mentorships here. Granted, the mentorship, again, is limited, but it has to be because it's going to be intimate. It's going to be personal. Some people are going to come and say, Rob and John, I am making so much money, I can't help myself. How do I make more? Some are going to say, Rob and John, I can't make a dime. What did I miss? How can you help me go ahead and get better? And then, of course, a lot of people are like, wow, okay, well, I'm really seeing success in these areas. Now, can you tweak me in these areas? And that's why it's like a mini mentorship. So after having hundreds of students at our other events, because most of the students that have come to one were going over to the other, and then we were adding new people as more and more buzz was coming out about our different events, just like these testimonials right here, people were joining. We realized for this particular 3-month commitment, we have to go and limit it. So, but no matter what, it's an awesome event. It's an awesome thing. It's going to be one for the record books because it's the biggest and the best that John and I have put together. And both of us being real world traders, and you just can't ask for better. Really excited about it.
Rob, I just thought I'd...
John, your friend Vasily, I hope it's Vasily, went in, joined, and Mary.
Yeah, I wanted to say at this point, I think Vasilis, you definitely are in on the mentoring. I think we're just under that 50 watermark, so you definitely, I think, made the watermark there. If I'm not speaking out of turn, I think that's the case. So, but we'll. I think that is
Yeah,
the situation.
I've asked the girls. They just tell people before they join, or will notify somebody right away if they've signed up and they're not eligible. We've asked them to notify them and see if there's something else we can maybe work out for them. If the mentorship has come to pass, we'll see if there's some other thing that we can throw in. But the mentorship has to be kind of regulated. And the let's see here. So as far as Mary and Kenneth, great. Yes. Do we do credit spreads? Yes. John, I'll let you speak for yourself. I'm not as much of an iron condor personally, gang. John will maybe talk more about the iron condors. But as far as the spreads, from my perspective, yeah, I'm a huge spread guy. John, I'm going to let you answer for yourself individually
Yeah,
as
well,
well.
when we did our option course, I mean, we came up with a trade in the NASDAQ and the Qs, and the first thing we came up with was a strategy based on the implied vol and everything, looking at, and just so that you know, if you don't know my background, I started trading options in 1984. So when Rob says I've been around a while, I mean, I've been around a while, and I've done every aspect of trading, and for those old timers that remember me, they know I was like I was the hot kid on LaSalle Street trading in the bonds. So the first market they introduced options on to commodities was on bonds, and so we learned how to utilize leverage on top of leverage using futures, options on futures. So using directional strategies and ratio back spreads, and I'm not a big iron condor guy. I think that for my work being directional, I have better success with other strategies, and that's what we'll implement. And we taught in the option course that Rob and I had completed last month. So with that said, yeah, credit spreads, we're more option writing, but there are some times that you need to buy options, and there's different things that we will review as we get into the trading course as to if a situation arises and we need to go with a directional trade. We have the stars lined up, like I was talking about inverse ETFs like the DXD, which is reflective of the Dow, or SDS, which is reflective of the S&Ps, or TZA, which is reflective of the Russell. Instead of maybe utilizing an ETF, we could perhaps look at a directional strategy on an option. So if we're short-term in nature, you use obviously a higher delta. So I mean, I could go on and on and on about options, but yes, absolutely, we're well-versed, and you're in phenomenal hands. I didn't just start learning to trade options, and I know there's people out there that says, hey, I have a passion for options and I'm going to start teaching it as I learn myself. No, I've been with my hands, elbows rolled up with the sleeves in options for over 30 years, friends. So just to let you, give you
I
an
was going to say,
idea.
go ahead, John. Go ahead and tell them what year.
I did.
I know the year. I love to hear John say it.
1984. 1984.
Well, great, Gail. We'll look forward to going in and having you. And Cheryl, if you want to go ahead and actually put in your telephone number, I can give you a call too. So we'll be happy to go ahead and help you there. If you want to put in your telephone number, I'll give you a call myself there. Okay, but well, great. Well, listen, gang, I'm going to let you guys go and review this yourself. The bottom line here is that we made an incredible event for you guys, regardless of whether you just, can only do, or, perhaps it's a financial thing, you can only do, the 2-day class. I think you'll learn a great deal of things, but obviously for those of you that can go ahead and make the event, be part of this incredible milestone thing. We've never done a mini mentorship type event before, and John's, never, as part of one of our events, given 3 months access to his professional package of indicators. And we've never done this 50, person 3-month mini mentorship that follows on. This is an incredible. Nor have we done a 4-day follow-up live trading thing. People were goo gaga over our 1-day things, and really, John, actually, those different trades we put on during those live events, they all made money, didn't they? Did any of your trades lose money that you put on?
Nope, not at all.
No, and
Not
nor
at
did
all.
mine. So those live trading events, I mean, granted, hey, past performance is not indicative of future results, right? We may have a loser, during one of our 4 days. In fact, we probably will, at some point, which will be great. We almost need to force one just so you guys can see how we handle a loss. Versus the profits. But this 4-day event, that's going to be an awesome event to have you guys go ahead and be part of. So I'm really, really, really excited. And Gail, completely understand that, and so I appreciate you understanding, Gail, that we went and put months into this, and while a lot of other people were doing these courses, and some people were rushing things to market, we went ahead and actually put a lot of time over the last several months when John and I have been together at the various, like I said, we were just together 3 weeks ago working on this over in LA and Costa Mesa, and so we put a lot of time and energy into creating these for you, both live while we were together at these different events for TradeStation, and also on a national level, an internet-based level too, where we were working together, from a distance perspective. We put a lot of time and energy into these, and those of you that have attended other courses where I say, look, we put a lot of time and energy into, I've never disappointed. When I say we put a lot of time and energy in, it usually shows. This course is going to be one of those that's going to really show. And Gary, Lawrence, and Fran, welcome as well. I appreciate that. And well, great, Gail. Like I said, we're looking forward to the next thing. Hey, thanks, Richard T. Very nice. Good to see you as always. So, gang, I'm going to leave it there. John, I'm going to let you go ahead and say the final words here. I think people, we're both very straight shooters, win, lose, or draw. And like I said, I spent months with you working on this course. I think and hope that people will go ahead and see the value and how this is different than the average course that's kind of not as thought out. And this was very thought out, up to and inclusive of going ahead and having the 3 months of follow-up, for people. And gang, my commitment is we'll figure out for the non-first 50 people, we'll figure out what sort of other thing we can do, to help those of you outside of the first 50 people. John, you and I probably should talk about that, because I know there's a person or two commented that they need a day or so. So
yeah, no, that's fine. We've been very cordial with people when it comes to trading, because it's a serious business. I mean, it's not like hey, this is fun and games, and this isn't Las Vegas, man. This is a business, and we take it serious. We take it serious with our students at Trading Triggers. I know Rob takes his job and his career very serious. That's how I've been maintained a career in this business since actually my first job as a runner was in 1977. Many of you may not know this, but I worked for George Lane for 2 years. The guy created stochastics. So I've been around a lot of very prominent people in the industry, and developed my own indicators and had an incredible career in the market. So many of people don't even know I retired when I was 25, and that's documented factual information. Retired when I was 25 from trading. I bought a 42-foot Morgan, a 416 sailboat, and used to go to Miami and rest. But rest was another word of saying partying. But long and short of it is, folks, the market's really, the only thing that's really changed in the markets, in my opinion, is you've just gotten a little bit more, we have to trade longer hours, and the way we get our execution, our fills, I think we have more of a this day and age of trading, we have probably a little fairer access than we did for individual speculators back 20 years ago, 10 years ago even. I mean, God, you remember dial-up internet, for gosh sakes? Globex 1, Globex 2, guys, remember this stuff? We have such an incredible opportunity here. It's just a matter of being able to teach you some really great setups and ways to get into the market, and I think everyone's going to enjoy that and make trading a little bit easier for you. Just making it easier. That's the real key.
And try to go ahead and get people over that hump. That for the people that are so close and they just need, especially the small lot traders, the those intricacies that are missing. So absolutely. So with that being said, gang, John, I want to wish you guys all a great night. And we're
Yes,
looking forward
absolutely.
to going ahead and seeing you at, on the flip side at this course. Looks like for many of you already, and you won't be disappointed. This is going to be an awesome course. So really, I'm pretty excited to say the least. And John, I suspect you are as well with the effort we put into this. So
It's an
uh,
incredible curriculum, and it's an incredible mentoring. I think the key is to make sure that everyone that signed up knows that we are going to make sure that we instill our teaching, and not that I want to be mean about it, but when I say make you accountable, it's kind of make sure that you learned it the right way, because it's these little nuances. Some people said, hey, that looks complicated, and it really isn't. So once you see it in action, and I think that's the key, and then you try to practice it, and then you're able to review the videos, and then you come back to do mentoring saying, hey, I had this trade, guys, can we review that, or how do we apply that in this day and age, or what's happening right now as we get into October, November, and then December. So those are like some really critical months that we coming into the game with. So teaching in September, follow up in October, follow up in November, follow up again in December. This is fabulous, fabulous stuff as it pertains to the course. So with that, everyone, I look forward to seeing you, and thank you for being here today, and we hope you at least got information enough to walk, and I know you got stuff to walk away with and use first thing tomorrow, because the SPOOs are already trading at 51 3/4, and this market looks like we got some, watch those shorter term time frame low close dojis tomorrow. So with that said, Rob, pleasure working with you again tonight, my friend, and give Sarah my best. Everyone, you have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event.